Dr. Cristina Dominguez coming to you this week with another episode of Level Up. This week's topic is on doing what you hate. Before you think I've lost my mind, we hear so often motivational sayings such as do what you love and it'll provide you with a fulfilling, purposeful life. That's very easy to understand. What about doing what you hate, and how might that help you in a more fulfilling or successful life? What I mean by this is delayed gratification. When we delay the gratification of something that we might really want right here, right now, because it's easy, because it's more comfortable, because it's more tasty, because it's more appealing. Delayed gratification is being able to say, you know what, maybe this might not be the best choice for me right now. And although you might hate it and you might really want to give in to that other more tempting thing, delayed gratification and doing what you hate is going to help you develop the discomfort tolerance that we talked about last week. So last week, touching back on that a little bit, is I explained the difference between motivation and discomfort tolerance, and how in theory motivation is really nice, and we all know that that's what we need in order to give us a sense of drive to get to our goals. But it really doesn't give us an understanding of what we need to do. Motivation, yeah, everybody wants it, but what is it and how do we do it? When you hear the term discomfort tolerance, you have a little bit better of an understanding just on the term alone, what it's implying. I need to be able to develop my tolerance being in uncomfortable situations. So the suggestions that I provided last week were coming up with a purpose or with a vision that was going to be able to provide you with that vehicle, with that energy to push forward towards your goal. Now, this week, what we're doing is taking it one step further and taking into consideration what it might be like to purposely put ourselves in those uncomfortable situations. The quarantine has not gotten to me, I promise. When we purposely put ourselves into these uncomfortable situations, what it's doing is that it's raising our threshold. It's raising our tolerance and bringing the bar up step by step with each repetition that we take of sitting in an uncomfortable situation. This is the key to mental toughness. Mental toughness is very much like a muscle, and I want to encourage everyone to start thinking of it as such. So in developing strength, let's talk about physical strength first. What do we do? So think of your practice of choice. Mine right now is yoga. So over time, doing things steadily, consecutively, and repetitively, we are developing strength just because we're pushing ourselves a little bit more tomorrow than we did yesterday. And the muscles are developing strength by contracting, by holding weight, by pumping weight, whatever that might be for you. But knowing that physical strength is developed over time. Now, mental strength, mental toughness is the same thing. It's about putting ourselves in uncomfortable emotional and mental situations, maybe sometimes physical, that are going to force us to develop a new layer of tissue and a thicker callus. The fundamental concept in all of this is putting off the more desirable choice. In theory, it's very easy, but know that when you're sitting with that in the moment, it's going to be so much more tempting to choose that other thing. So in choosing what you hate can apply to so many things in life. So this can be a very common example. You know, I would really like to save money and cooking at home is so much more healthy. But, you know, if I just pick up the phone and order something off of an app or make a quick phone call and order takeout or delivery, it's just so much easier. This is also something that can come up in relationships. So making that phone call to apologize or to reconcile. It can also mean not answering that text message that you know you shouldn't. because you know it's not going to be good for you at the end of the day. So on a day-to-day basis throughout the day, start to observe. There are so many opportunities for us to start to observe where that fork in the road lies, and how we can begin to exercise leaning towards the more uncomfortable decision. Please know that when you are confronted with that fork, it requires a lot of strength. So don't expect yourself to start doing this right away. You weren't doing it yesterday, and for you to expect to start doing it every single time going forward is not going to make you feel successful at all. So just start to pay attention. Observe how there are little opportunities throughout the day for you to be able to observe, I have two choices here. Establish what your goal is in the grand scheme of things. Take a step back, pan out, look at what your big picture goal is, and how these two choices can play into that goal or take away from it with a more comfortable or easy choice. Every time that we are able to lean into the uncomfortable or to lean into the harder choice, it's like another rep. And there goes another layer of the muscle, strengthening and contracting and strengthening and contracting. So that over time, like a physical muscle, you're going to develop that strength. So it is not an overnight process. You are just learning about it, and be patient with yourself. The same way you wouldn't expect yourself to get results overnight in the gym. Give it time. Over time, you will be able to acquire the skill, acquire the strength, and eventually one day, this is my favorite part, by the way, you'll look back and say, "Ooh, remember when I used to do that?" That's progress. That's my favorite part. So give it a shot. Do what you hate and see how you might end up loving yourself more. As always, if you have any questions, any comments about anything that I discussed today, feel free to shoot me an email, a DM, drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Wishing you a very happy week. Until next time. Hey everyone, if you like this week's message on doing what you hate, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the latest content, and make sure to turn on those bell notifications in order to hear when they come through. Have a great week.